Budget 2023, Jim Chalmers' second budget, has been handed down. So what's the verdict? Well, it depends on how you're going in the cost of living crisis. If you're doing okay or managing to get by, it's probably as you expected. But if you're struggling, well, you may have had expectations of more. And now those expectations have been dashed. This budget is all about responsibility. It's part of the Labor leadership's long-term project to restore Labor's reputation as the better economic managers. But that means people who had hopes, even if they were just tiny, of more, have had all of those expectations crushed. There is a little bit of extra help, but it won't be enough to even take the edge off. $40 extra a fortnight for job seeker, youth allowance and Austudy doesn't take anyone out of poverty. A small rental assistance lift and short-term energy relief for low-income houses also won't do it. What this budget is about is a plan. Jim Chalmers and Anthony Albanese's long-term plan to see Labor remain in office for another term and beyond. And part of that is incremental changes. The $5.7 billion for Medicare is part of that plan. So is the incremental lift in the working age welfare payments. Small steps that hopefully won't upset the apple cart and keep the ship steady. The problem is the increase in the cost of living can't be paid incrementally. It's due now, and stressed households are going to stay stressed. There's not a lot for Middle Australia, the working poor, or those about to become the working poor. That's usually a group traditionally missed in budgets, people who earn just enough to be thought of as middle class, but not enough to get the biggest tax breaks. But it matters more when family budgets have been cut as far back as they can, and they still need to find more to make ends meet. We've done what we can afford to do in this budget, Jim Chalmers said immediately after. We feel we've struck the right balance. But for people stressed about housing, grocery costs, energy bills, and just everything, balance seems further and further away. There is some good news. Everyone is in agreement that inflation has peaked and will begin coming down over the next couple of years. Debt is also levelling out, and no one is making a huge deal out of the whisper-thin surplus. There was no way that this budget was going to solve the cost of living crisis, but now the government has to see whether it's managed expectations with people's realities. And that's a question that can only be answered when the next budget is handed down.